This is the key to why you're feeling so bad with your performance anxiety when you're playing the piano. As you can see, I'm sitting in my car, but this short video is just going to help you to understand exactly why we as animals are really struggling to comprehend what is going on when we perform. The key to this is understanding two things. First thing, we are animals, and anytime that we want to put our head above the parapet to do some kind of performance, you have to kind of equate this with the idea of being an animal, and the sense of going out to find a mate, going out to source food, to find prey. These are forms of primal performances, and our brain cannot differentiate between those and that of playing in a stressful situation. And the other thing that you need to understand is that anytime that we're in that position of being an individual set away from the group, as we would be if we were going to search for prey or find a mate, that puts us in a position of anxiety and potentially being outcast or found wanting. So let's understand the four main fears behind this, and let's start to unpick what you can do about it. You see, when we bring it back to animalistic terms, it's quite easy to understand. Because the first fear is that we simply won't be good enough. And if we're not good enough to go and perform in the sense of finding a mate or sourcing food, that literally we may die or the species may not be continued. It's a really primal fear. And once again, our brains do not differentiate. And so our brains are thinking, you're not good enough. You're not going to be able to survive. Our second fear is to do with our fitness. Of course, to go and source food, we have to be at peak fitness, because simply other people may get there first, or we may miss out on that opportunity. If we're not attractive enough, we might not be able to find a mate. So in other words, we live in this sense of fear that we're not going to be good enough to do this performance. We are simply not up to the job, and that gives us that primal sense of anxiety and potential isolation. So what essentially is going on with this third fear? Well, the third fear is that we wonder about how others perceive us and our performance. If we are seen as being not good enough, we risk being seen as weak or being outcast from the group. We also fear being seen as too good for the same reasons. This means that we're constantly comparing ourselves in terms of our piano performance with that of others. Are we going to be found wanting, or are we getting a little bit above our station? So that means that, of course, our fourth fear is that of the jealousy of the group. If people are jealous of us because maybe our performance is really good or the effort that we put into that, then they may cast us aside from the group. We may not be accepted any longer. Now, you think about that in terms of a child, the inner child that you have. If you're cast out from a group, from your family, from your connections, you risk death. Now are you starting to see where some of your fears are coming from? It's a dichotomy, right? You fear being too good, and you fear not being good enough at the same time. And you feel that it's the finest line. It's like the very top of a mountain ridge that you're walking between being too good or not good enough. You're fearing other people's views of you. And so how do we deal with that as the 2025 human being? Well, what we do is we're constantly reading the reactions of other people around us. We're reading how they perceive us, our abilities, the way we approach playing the piano or whatever, and in fact the people that we are. And in analysing their behaviours, we tend to analyse their words. And I bet you anything that you have a whole vocabulary of things that people have said to you over the years. Family members, teachers, friends. And you have built up that vocabulary of what has been said to you. And that starts to form an internal dialogue. That dialogue that's always the backdrop that might even come in sometimes when you're actually engaged in performance. So the first step, the first thing that we have to do, we've got to understand what that vocabulary is, what that internal dialogue is. So what I want you to do, this is your call to action, let's say, from this video today. I want you to get a pen and paper, a journal maybe, and I want you to start to unpick some of the things that have been said to you over the years, especially those negative things. And this is going to be hard. The things that have made you feel that you're not good enough. The things that have put pressure on, because the more you understand them, the more you can understand that internal dialogue that's going on. And it would mean everything to me if you could like this video and maybe put in the comments, if you dare, one of those things that's been said to you in the past.